Hello, everybody. AJ here. Today is going to be interesting, folks. Um, Trying to rein myself in, but hope y'all are doing well. Why is I don't have no chat? I was like, I don't see y'all here. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. There we go. There's my chat, so I can see what's going on. Thank you so much for joining me. I missed y'all, folks. We are back from Ireland. We've been running nonstop, and like my washing machine right here is going nonstop. Let me turn that off. I hope y'all are doing well. Give me a shout out to a bunch of folks out here. Parker, hello. Paul, hello. Francisco, hello. Shane and Hannah, hello. Mike, hello. Chris, hello. Mr. Clarence, hello. Gerard, hello. From Stuttgart, Germany. Rob, hello. Rodney, hello. Sandra, hello. Darius, hello. Thank you so much, folks. Why is that chat? I'm kind of out of it right now, folks. I didn't even check my audio to see if my audio's fine. Give me 1 second. Sorry. How's that chat? Yeah, we good. Hope y'all are doing well. Missed y'all. AJ the CEO. Man, if you don't mind, folks, go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe if you haven't, and hit that bell. That way you get notified when we come out with other videos. If you didn't know, and if you're not, make sure you go ahead and join our Facebook group, where we do like stuff like this all the time with other media ministries all over the world. We're at 2,500 media ministries. Excited about that, of what we can do together instead of just individually. What else we got? If I can't get to your question, folks, know that y'all can email me at any time at questions@ajhomes.com. I still haven't updated this, but give me 72 hours, and we'll get back. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for making me laugh, because, I mean, I just make me want to just hurt people right now. Just, Let me get off that. Hey, if y'all got any questions, fire them away, because I'm trying to get my mind off some stuff right now, and I ain't trying to be a bad person, but I'm just annoyed. One quick question: Chris wants to know, am I still on the wrong time zone? No, my sleep is off because I'm just in pain a little bit from just doing a whole bunch of work with some ungrateful people. Did I say that? From doing a whole lot of work. Let me change it. Go back to Chris. You got another question for me. Is there a drum pad machine you would recommend? We don't have a drummer in our team. The one we have is a loner, so we want to have a backup plan. No, unfortunately, I don't. I'm not aware of any that stuff as much as I normally would. Let me see. Got a bunch of y'all sending me some stuff here. Mike was saying, I think you're dealing with travel lag. No, I don't think it's that. I'm dealing with my issue with no, AJ, keep your mouth shut. Keep your mouth shut. This day is gonna be interesting, folks. Monty, what's going on, sir? Greetings from Scotland, and thanks for your ministry. Hey, you're welcome. Our 1080p PTZ and ATEM Mini looks low res on Zoom. Any ideas? Yeah, I think I answered your question, but let me show you what I think it is. I'm gonna bring over my Zoom here real quick, and we're gonna go to settings here. And what screen is that? That's number 4. All right, so here in Zoom, what we got right here, we're gonna go to video. Make sure you have HD checked off, because if you don't, it's gonna lower it. And to be honest, Zoom is never gonna give you the high quality image that you would see if you're streaming to a different platform, because they have their own thing that lowers the quality and stuff like that. But I think make sure you have that. Turn off, touch up my appearance. That makes stuff all blurry as well too. But that's what I think it would be. So hopefully that will help y'all. Man, I tell you like this. This is a community, folks. So we all work together. Thank you so much. Wish I could give you a hug. Hey, Chris, I appreciate it, man. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mike is saying, enough said, say no more. Exactly. Little man 329. Hello. Lamoris, excuse me. Can you help me understand what a static camera is? What's the difference between that and a regular PTZ? That's just a term that I use. A static camera is just a camera that can't move. It just turns on, and that's it. And that's kind of like how this camera is right now. My Blackmagic, can I adjust it? But the way it's set up is a static. It's not, if I move out of focus, it's not dynamically changing. Or let me turn my stuff on at my church, and hopefully I can show you what I mean. I should be able to remote and see everything from there. So let's get back over here to the desktop. Let me turn that comment off. Let me bring over remote Chrome, and let's go to live stream system. Let's log in. So we have two PTZs, two that we can move, one in the front, one in the back. But then the other one, the AJay HD 100A, is set up as a static shot so that we can't move it. It's just meant to just capture. Hopefully ain't nobody down there being silly. And are my cameras off? Nah, they must be booting up or something. Another Stream Deck update. We'll do that later. That's the back camera. Okay, so this is, why is the back camera off? I'm gonna have to reboot that. Wrong one. This is the advantage of using PoE on your cameras. I can go ahead and shut down the camera and reboot it by just flipping the power on to that port. So where we at? PoE switch right there. Gonna look at our ports here. It's this one that the camera is connected to. So power cycle, the port. Yes. All right. So anyway, that's what this one is. That's a PTZ, so we can always move that and get any type of different angles. That's what the PTZ is. So let me front camera. So see, I can come over here and move the camera, do all this other stuff here. And there is the back PTZ with the static camera there as well too. And it looks like it just finished power cycling. All right, so right below that is the AJay imaging. So you can't move it. It's just a static shot. So the idea is we switch to that to hide. Why is that not showing? Oh, I know why. Because I changed this. I put a fiber optic cable on here, and for whatever reason, it didn't move everything over. So y'all seeing all this extra stuff here. Let's go ahead and save that. There's my button. Now we go to our static, which is off. Why is that off too? Did I do that wrong? I think I might have did that wrong. You can see I am out of it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's right. Button 1, input numbers. Oh, no. That should be 4. Yeah, I got to relabel these. Anyway, here's our static shot. So the idea is it's just always a wide shot so that when we're moving and adjusting the other camera, no one can see it. That's the big difference. So I'm going to have to, why did not save? I got to go relabel all this stuff. Ugh. So some more work I got to do. Oh, well. Hopefully that long, drawn-out answer. The PTZ is one that you can move all the time. The static, the way I use it, is just as a wide shot to hide when we're adjusting the cameras so that no one is seeing the camera move. It just makes it look more professional. At least that's the way I think. Welcome back. How was Europe? Any plans of coming back? Yes, it was fun. Needs to be longer. Need to hit up some other places. We're looking at going to London, going back to Ireland for a little bit longer, but go to a different location, be there longer. Definitely looking at London, Scotland. Got a bunch of friends that are going to be coming with me this time, so it should be more fun. Clearance here. Thanks, AJ. I'm learning a lot from you. Hey, South Africa, awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, and I'm glad you said that. Yes, Paris is another place France in general, I want to come to. Like I said, I took French for 4 years, and I'm very, very, very bad at it. But I want to get better at it, but I am looking forward to getting over there as well. But, hey, be on the lookout. I plan on getting over there, too. Brother Art, hello. Adam, what is going on? Mike, so would you say another word for static would be a manual camera? You have to adjust everything, position, focus, etc., or does that mean static is a one shot? For me, that camera is a static. It was set up, its focus was everything trained on a wide shot. No one touches it, no one moves it. You don't get a different angle. It's just that. So this is the type of camera that I would use if I wanted a point of view shot on the band that you don't have to move. This can be problematic sometimes because if somebody gets out of focus, there's no way for you to there's no autofocus normally on these type of cameras, but that's how I have mine set up. Little Man 329 here. Can you provide me with a website I can use for gospel music for our live stream while people are waiting for the stream to start, instrumental only? I would honestly recommend on YouTube, look up Dappy Keys. Cool dude, does a lot of his own music. You can actually buy some music from him. Where's it at? Right here. Dappy Keys here. Dappy T Keys, piano and worship. He does a lot of stuff. He's actually live right now. And I'm muted so you can hear it. So he does a lot of good stuff. I've bought music from him. He's on the Apple Store and a bunch of places, so you can buy music from him. And it does, make sure you're mindful of which one that you get, because it does have, certain stuff does have links and licenses on what you can and cannot use. So you got music here. He's got his stuff, piano, instrumental stuff. And again, for download and streaming. So here's a license. Thank you for considering using the music. I have 2 albums that you can be used for background music, live streams. The tracks can be downloaded for a one-time fee and can be used as many times as required. Your purchase grants you the permission to use the album as background music in your project. You will not have to worry about copyright issues with any online video platforms when you buy these albums. There you go. I will put a link in the chat for that. Good guy. I bought music from him as well too. Even though I'm a musician, I just don't have the time to record the stuff myself. So hey, why not? Mr. Clarence here. Do you set up PTZ presets using the joystick or the IR remote? And and then call them back from the joystick? Well, it doesn't matter because those settings are in the camera. So I can go through the software, go through the remote or the joystick and trigger a preset and it'll work across all of them. You can set them from any of them and they're all uniform. So you should be good to go. Me personally, we do have one set on ours, but after we installed it, we really don't use, well, now we're using the remotes just to turn off the cameras. Since I put them on our PoE switch, and that PoE switch in the sanctuary is also going to the access point in the sanctuary. So that's why I stopped turning it off. And I just don't like the cameras being on the entire time. So that's the only time we use the joystick, the remote, is to turn the cameras off. Ty here, are there any significant differences between a $600 PTZ camera and a $1,600 PTZ cameras besides the price? Is more expensive always better when it comes to PTZ cameras? Honestly, from a technical standpoint, for the most part, all the chips, all the parts that you're using inside of the stuff is exactly the same. What you're really paying for is the team behind it that supports it. So you can have some people put out a camera and that's it. Other people put out camera, like PTZ Optics, they write their own software. They write their own OBS plugins. You're getting a continued support and a staff of people who are going to support you. Now, I'm not knocking any of the other cameras, and I tell y'all specifically, hey, you want to get a $600 camera and a $1,600 camera? For the most part, they don't look any different. The only thing is, if the $600 one breaks, most of the time you have to go to YouTube, like my channel, Google, whatever, to try and find a solution for yourself, because most of the time, they're not very responsive. SMT AV, I've never gotten an email back from them when I sent a request to them. AV cans, they've responded back to me. For Mako, I'm not even going to say nothing because I've never had to reach out to them for anything. But that's the main thing. Again, out of all of them, AV cans has been the most responsive. Zigo has been very responsive as well too. And they use the same chipsets. So that's why the software that PTZ Optics can use, like even at my church, the camera that y'all saw in the back is a PTZ Optics. The one in the front was a SMT AV. So they all talk on the same stuff. So the price is normally the support that you're paying for, the infrastructure that's behind it to keep maintaining good service. That's what I personally have experienced. Paul, I wouldn't mind coming to India. I actually used to, some of my clients used to be out in Mumbai and a bunch of other places when I was back in the day when I was working at Capital One, and other clients like KPMG, Deloitte, and all this other stuff like that. And I don't know who is trying to call me right now because they're getting ignored. Let me put that on Do Not Disturb. Back to Chris. I am proposing my church to upgrade our wired network to a unified system, and I'm wondering if it is possible to set up two separate networks. I have for my church, and I have, yes, they can both be set up that way. That's how originally I had my churches set up. So if I come back over here so y'all can see, we had a learning center that is not in place anymore. But what we did, and hopefully I don't show too much of stuff, you can have separate networks. So like right now we have, can I crank this up? We have our wireless network, we have our LAN network, we have our security network, and we used to have a learning center network, and they are physically different. You can't talk to them. I mean, I can see them as an admin, but like right now, when people connect to our wireless, they get a completely different IP address. They're isolated. They can't see nothing. The LAN is everybody, the admins and the media. And then security are for the security cameras and security stuff that we have at our church so that none can talk with each other. And they act like their own different thing. The original USG router, or especially if you get the UDM Pro, which I would highly recommend you get, that has the router built in. It will create as many DHCP servers as you set up. So it's like you have multiple modems for your networks. You can set up, like if I come in here, I set this as a VLAN to where it sets up something completely different, and they've changed their interface. So let me go back to the classic here. Turn that off. Deactivates. Let's go back to the classic. I just know the classic better than this one. I just haven't delved into this one as much. So we come in here, our networks, and see you can set all these up, set up VLAN, set them up to be whatever you want, and you can make as many as you want. So if I came in here and say, oh, I want to have rental church, I can set this up as VLAN only, give it a code, or do it as a guest, anything like that. So I could say the VLAN is, 88. And then I would set the IP address, what's the range of IP addresses you want. So I'll say, if I said 10, 10, 70, dot 10. And of course, I'm going to probably mess this up. All right, so it would be something like this. So that would say that my range is going from, and actually this needs to be 0. So this is saying that my range is, it will start handing out IP addresses here between this range. They're on a completely different network. They won't even see printers. They won't see nothing that's on a different network. And that's how I had that set up at the church. So yeah, very, very simple to do. Highly recommend it. As you can see, I've set up quite a few ministries here, including my own here is running on that same stuff. So really, really awesome setup there, Chris. Chasen, hey, good morning. And thank y'all, folks. I'm feeling a lot better right now. I don't know if the phone is going off because of some other stuff that needs to be continued, but we'll take care of that when we get off of here. Naftali, hello. Augustine, man, you I'm working at it, folks. See, like, where we at? Actually, I need to update this. So, actually, that's my script for my next video here. So there's a tip right here, how to make your yearly goals for your media ministry. That's video script that I have. Let me pull down the manuscript for the book here. So we've got quite a few there. So I have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Got 11 more chapters to finish up. Add some nice little graphics. So we're gonna get this out this year. So there you go. Back to Adam. I'm going to be doing a very important Zoom presentation tonight using OBS virtual camera. Do I have to use the virtual cables for audio, or can I just use the onboard mixer audio? I mean, you can use just the audio as long as normally the audio, as long as you're not getting a delay, you can just say that you will have vMix just pull the audio directly. That's what I'm doing right now. Y'all are seeing the video, but my audio is coming from my mixer directly. I do the same thing with Zoom. Just make sure you're not getting any delay, and you should be good. Paul, we tried using the A10 Mini to desktop for live streaming using Type-C to USB 2.0. It had glitches on the video in OBS. When I tried using a video capture, well, first off, let me finish reading the comment, AJ. At the A10 Mini, and there was no glitches. What is your opinion? We need a USB 3.0 port for desktop. Glad I finished it. Yes. Don't do 2.0. Do 3.0. It's a bandwidth type of thing. Otis, what's going on? Howdy, y'all from Texas. What PTZ cameras share the chipset with, like, generics in your perspective categories? Well, honestly, all of them use, the ones I've used, all of them use the Sony sensor. That's what they're using. The chips, I would say that's the chipset. Mainly the stuff I was talking about is the control modules on how it interfaces with them. All the ones I've done, except for the Famaco, are different. But most of all the ones I've used are using the Sony lens, not the lens, I don't want to say codec. Why am I missing the sensor? That's what it is. It's using the Sony sensor. I couldn't get it out for whatever reason. Hey, Chris, you're welcome. Augustine, I'm asking love. I know. All right, I'm not going to put that on here. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Back to Paul, question number 2. Is there any problem if YouTube gives out a copyright claim when we upload a video? Claims are not a problem. Strikes are a problem. Claim, like I get claims sometimes, and I have the right of saying, will I let it pass or not? So Otis is on here, so I'm going to highlight him here for half a second, and I would do the same thing with Josh. Oh, awesome. We actually have a good one right here, which is actually me. So let me show y'all how this works. So here's under the copyright channel. I have a copyright that says 100% of this video was used by this other channel, and that other channel just happens to be Bless This House, which is mine. So this is how it shows. Now, if I check this off, I can say right now it's a saying like, oh, hold on, somebody actually has this. So let me come out of here, and I'm going to go to the other channel, and I want to show you what that looks like on this side. See, on here, there's nothing because I, as the original owner, have not done anything to this yet. And I'm not going to do it because this is a new channel. The last thing I want is to have a hit on the channel for no reason. But if I go back here to copyright, I can choose to do a bunch of things. I can choose to archive it, meaning that it's okay. I can send a request for them to, hey, you're using this stuff. You might want to update it and contact them in any type of way. Ask them to take it down. And then there's a contact channel. So if I click here, I can send a notice like, hey, another YouTube channel noticed that your content and your video uploaded, blah, blah, blah. If you're using another channel's content without permission, they may ask you to remove your video. Removal results in a copyright strike. So that's what that would be. That's the message that would go to them. And they actually won't let you say anything else. This is being done on their behalf. So I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to archive it. Like I've had a bunch of other ones as well too. So if I go to my, like I had a removal request. It was a couple of people that uploaded, and like this one person took my entire video and put it on their stuff. And I sent them a removal, and then they removed it. But then other times people haven't, like this one person stole this entire video, the free 60-minute countdown timer that I was using. They took the entire video, and I sent them a strike because I contacted them. They wouldn't remove it. Then I said, all right, yeah, they ain't responding to YouTube. Hey, do your thing. Send them a strike. And then also YouTube automatically removed it. Long story short, strikes are bad. Claims are fine. Claim will just show up saying like, hey, somebody is using your stuff. And depending on what you do from this, will go from there. So what I'm going to do, because this is my own channel, I'm just going to archive that so it's not an issue at all. So long drawn out, show you what happens in the back behind the scenes of it. But there you go. All right, back to Little Man 329. My church just recently purchased a PTZ as a main and only camera. I only have at the moment 100-foot HDMI. I do have an Ethernet plug in the wall. Should I use that HDMI over Ethernet? Honestly, no. Get yourself a honestly, the fiber Ethernet cables are good. If you already have the extender, I say try it. But let me know if there's something else I'm missing, because it looks like this wasn't a complete thought that you might have been typing out here, but just let me know. Dwayne D saying here, display. Thank you. We're getting drop frames in OBS during service. Wondering where I should start in figuring this out. Drop frames. First off, look at on the taskbar at the bottom of OBS. You're going to have a utilization. Let me bring this up here. So let me show you this part. Take this out. Let's move over to the screen. So here at the bottom of OBS, you got some utilization down here. First off, need to know, what is that? Is it topping out? If anything over, honestly, I think anything over 50% is bad, which shows that it's your system is probably not being able to keep up with it. Also, is the color changing? That's showing more of your internet maybe being a problem. So need to isolate when it's saying it's dropping frames. Is it dropping frames because this computer can't keep up with the encoding, or is it dropping frames because it's losing a connection there? So need just a little bit more detail on that one. Creator for fun. Hey, AJ, I know you went over this before, but can you direct me to a video setting up the monitors in the sanctuary to display church activity for the dining hall? Glad you enjoyed your trip. Now, give me a breakdown as well. Maybe I'm missing this. So, Creator for Fun directed me to a video setting up the monitors in the sanctuary to display church activity for the dining hall. So, in other words, you just want another TV in the dining hall that's seeing the exact same thing in the sanctuary. Is that's what it is? Let me know, and I will answer that. Robert Moore Jr. I see a PTZ question and thought I'd ask one. Based on all the PTZs you review, who provided the best image quality and low light performance? Looking to purchase one with a budget of $1,500. Honestly, I personally don't use them in low light, so I can't really give you a good answer for that. I mean, the most low light that we use ours for is when we have communion and we turn all the lights off. And obviously somebody's in the church right now because all of the lights in the sanctuary were on. It's probably the sextons in there cleaning up. And AJ, you left on the system. You didn't turn it off. Let me see. Go back in here. And okay, well, they turned the lights off now. So let me go back and show you what we got here. This is annoying. Let me rename this. Why is that still saying? Oh, I was right. I did change it. I messed up. Because I moved it from SDI to HDMI. So this is right. The button was just wrong. All right, there we go. So right now, there's no lights except for just ambient light coming into the sanctuary. This is the AJay static camera doing that. The back camera is the PTZ optics. And this is for you, Mr. Clarence. I'm going to call up the preset here in the software that we made from the joystick, which is position 2. All right. So that is, looking from the back, the exact same position as the static camera. Put these in a way so you can see both at the same time. All right. So that's the PTZ optics in the back. That's the AJay imaging one. All right. And then if I move over to the front, which honestly, that's a SMTAV PTZ camera, but this one has more light because it's closer to the window. It's actually right here. So if I adjust that one, it's going to look, it's still zoomed in. So let me change that to position. They don't have a 0 button. That's why I use that static camera. So you don't see type of motion like that. But this is the front one. And honestly, I really don't see a difference. Actually, no, that's the static. Let me switch back to between the front and the back. So this is a SMT AV. That is the PTZ optics. Let me zoom out on here. And again, this one is brighter because it's closest to the windows. I don't notice a difference. Let me know if y'all do. And I need to remember to shut this off before I get up out of here. And media booth off. So I just turned all that off. So, and my phone is blowing up right now, so this is going to be interesting. I might have to shorten this live stream, maybe pick it up again later this afternoon or something. Paul, can I do the graphic on my laptop, then do the streaming on another desktop? Yes, you can. That's how mine is set up. We have streaming on one system, which is the one that I was just remoted in. Our presentation system is connected through our switcher to our ATEM television HD that's going in to our streaming system, or we did originally over NDI. Yes, they don't have to be on the same. Mary J, what is going on? Hi, we are getting 2 PTZ cameras installed. They are programming a stream deck to control the camera, but is suggesting we get an ATEM television studio for a switcher. Would an ATEM Mini or ATEM Mini Pro work? What are you using? What's going to be the source of handling the live stream in your original setup? Because if you're using the ATEM television studio, which is the exact same thing I have at my church, that does not support streaming. The output needs to go to some type of computer with a capture device, and it does streaming itself. The ATEM Mini, I would not recommend because it doesn't have a multi-view. It's like just a glorified capture card for 4 inputs. The ATEM Mini Pro can work because it will do live streaming for you, but you only have a multi-view out to see all the 2 PTZ cameras that you have, or you have the out that's going to be the program out that everybody sees. That's why I would honestly recommend the ATEM Mini ATEM Mini Extreme, because it will give you the multi-view for HDMI out. It has another HDMI out if you're going to TVs, projectors, or anything inside your church. Then it can stream itself, so you don't need another system. But that's what I would personally say. But that all depends on what the ATEM television studio, whoever's designing your system, what they're going to be using that for. What is that connecting to next? Lamoris, can a custom-built presentation system and streaming system have the same specs, or should one have higher specs than the other? Honestly, originally at my church, our streaming system was the beefier system than all of them. But at this point at my church, well, no, I've recently changed that this year. Originally, what I ended up getting in the last 2 years, I migrated all of our systems to have the exact same specs, exact same memory, everything. The only difference was the graphics card because of their need. So our streaming system was a Ryzen 5 1600 with 16 gigabytes of memory, and it was just a bare bones GT 730 graphics card because I just needed something for the monitor. All of the streaming was done on the CPU because I was a 6-core, 12-thread processor. More than enough because all it was doing was streaming. That's the exact same specs for our presentation system, but we needed a graphics card when they were affordable. It was still a GTX 1050 Ti that had 4 display outs. So we had the 2 monitors on the desk. We had one going to the ATEM for the audience, and then we had another one, 3 outs. In the 4th out, I put a Decklink mini monitor, which now powers our stage display. But all the specs are exactly the same. Then our video switcher PC is the exact same thing. Ryzen 5 1600, but it had originally I had my Radeon 7 in there because that was our video editing system, but nobody's video editing. So I took the card back out, put a generic GT 1030 in there, and nobody's editing on that anymore. So it mainly just controls ATEM. So you can put more into it. I personally just have all mine be the same right now because it was just cheaper at that time. What is that nice picture on your desktop? It is a 3-monitor picture of like a 3D artist of Earth from space. So if I minimize all of these, and I will cycle through all of my desktops, and then you can see what they look like. So I have monitor number 1. It's the same image, it just stretches across all of them. So that's monitor number 1. Then that bleeds into, you see the little astronaut right there. Then that bleeds into this one, middle monitor, and then the other one continues off looking down on another planet. So that is what I have on my desktop. That's my desktop wallpaper right now. Let's see. Kenneth. Hey, AJ, is there any way to use USB PTZ with the ATEM? No. No, you cannot. If it only has a USB out and is not some type of SDI or HDMI, no. I mean, you could hook it into a computer like OBS and then have OBS do full screen out and then convert it back to HDMI. But at that point, that's overkill. But no way to do it directly. William, could you recommend a good budget 2-way speaker for the Sanctuary? 2-way speaker. What do you mean by speaker? When you're saying 2-way, I'm thinking you're talking about intercom, but clarify that for me, please. Back to Dwayne. Follow up on drop frames. The bottom right colors in OBS randomizes on green, orange. That's internet. If it's cycling through those colors, that's your internet. And while you're dropping, it tends to happen when many people are at service and logged into the Wi-Fi. Could that be the reason? Yes, we had the same thing, and that's why we moved to Unify, and I put them on a separate network. The other thing, Chris, I did not show, Unify allows me to shrink how much anybody can do anything. So say you have a massive pipe of water coming in. 100 gallons are coming into the building. Consider that your internet. The way I have it set up is 90% of the internet is allowed to the local network now. Originally, when we had the Learning Center, it was, I had it at 70% of the total bandwidth that's coming in would go to the admin and media. Then it was 20% was going to the Learning Center because they didn't really need a lot. And then 10% is going to guests and Wi-Fi. Originally, it's the Wild Wild West. If somebody decided to do something crazy, like we had a bunch of people that were live streaming and it tanked our internet, it knocked us off. Until I put them in their own little playground. Hey, y'all can max out the internet as much as y'all want, but even if they max it out, it would only be 10% of our entire bandwidth that's coming in and out. So that removed that. So that's what it sounds like, that you are not being able to sustain the internet upload speed that's needed for a good quality live stream. That's what it sounds like. And just like right now, I am going through the web presenter and YouTube is saying that I'm not getting a consistent 10 megabit upload speed when technically I have, and they're saying YouTube is saying we recommend you have a 23 megabyte upload to live stream at 4K, and it's dropping. That's Comcast, whatever. Creative for fun. Yes, I want the same thing showing in the dining hall. Okay. For your situation from your distribution, you have a couple of options. You can either get a long fiber HDMI cable. They go up. I have not tried anything over 200 feet, but supposedly they go up to 300. You could try that. You could convert it from HDMI to SDI, run SDI to wherever you're going, and then that's like 300 feet. max and then convert it back to HDMI. You can do it that way. You can do it over NDI. If it's in another room and there's no speakers, you can just send it over NDI, put a small little computer hooked up to the TV on the HDMI port, and then you don't have no wires as long as there's internet in the area. Mainly need to know, where is your source? Where is the video coming from? Is it going into a switcher? And then I can help give you better directions from that. Hello. David, we're looking to add an audience display screen to our sanctuary. We use ProPresenter 7. We currently have dual monitors and also a stage display. Okay. I'm looking for your next comment. Okay, I'll look for that one to come up here. Back to Creative for Fun. I need to know the setup from the ATEM and computer or whatever to make it happen. We have the ORI 4x1 or maybe I think 1x4, 1 in, 4 outs. Or you have I've never heard of an ORI 4 in and 1 out from an ATEM. So honestly, I need to know which ATEM, but I'm just assuming you have one that you can do multi-view and your output. The main thing is you would just run the HDMI out from the ATEM into the ORI, and then that's it. And then the ORI, you will run whatever type of connection that is, Ethernet, whatever, to each of the displays that you want, and that's it. And it will just show up just like that. Make sure all the TVs can support the same resolution, because if they don't, it's going to be a first come, first. Well, no, if you're coming from an ATEM, it has to handle the resolution that's coming from it. So say you have a bunch of TVs that are, this is the same thing that happened at Lebanon Lebanon Baptist, while we had to change one of the TVs. All the TVs were 4K, but the TV in the pastor's office was 720p. So that messed up everything because of the switcher that we use. So as long as they do all the same thing, you hooking it up to that, it'll be fine. That's literally all you got to do. Mr. Clarence, my AVCAN's PTZ has a deeper problem. Presets bounce back and forth endlessly, and only control is to cancel or power off. That's strange. Honestly, I would ask you to probably contact them. And how do you have it connected? Is it over RS-232? Are you doing it over network? What's your connection to the? How are you connecting from your joystick to or whatever directly to your AV cans? Brandon, is the Chrome remote desktop better to use when it comes to trying to avoid seeing delays? This is referring to controlling the production form from another location. Honestly, I use it. I only use it out of necessity. Like, I remoted in to our church, used remote Chrome when I was in Ireland because there was a sound issue. There's always going to be a delay, no matter what you do. I wouldn't do it. Can I run a live stream or something at our service? Like, I'm going to remote in and fix our stuff. So we have a church meeting, and I'm going to remote in and turn everything on so it can do Zoom from there. But I think Chrome would work. I personally wouldn't do it unless I really, 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 really had to. Paul wants to know, can I do sound EQ in the A10 Mini? Somewhat you can. Let's see. Let's open this up here. If I cut over here, I can come over here to the audio, and I can do some type of tweaking in here. I can do some dynamics here, do a compressor, do all this other stuff, set limiters, do some makeup. You can do some in here. Me personally, I just don't. And then you have your equalizer here, so you can do some other stuff in here if you wanted to. But yes, you can. Paul also wants to know, is it possible to extend my HDMI port on the laptop as 2 extra monitors with different view? No, it's 1-to-1. If you need another one, you can get a portable monitor like I used to have, and it is monitor over USB if you need to. Back to Creator for Fun. I'm starting to experience dropped in frames on OBS from the computer that you built for us. Is there anything I might be doing that's causing this? I'm using 60 frames per second. Should I drop to 30? No. If it was happening all of a sudden, most likely it's because there was an update to Windows did an update that messed up how the graphics card drivers are interfacing that OBS was driven off of. I had the same issue at my church, which is the exact clone copy of the system I built for y'all. Had the same thing. One of the things most likely going to have to do, hit me up in the email if you have any issues with this. Most likely have to completely purge out the drivers, get rid of the Windows ones, and pull them down again from NVIDIA or AMD. I can't remember which one that you have off the top of your head. I think it's most likely NVIDIA, but and just get rid of the junk one that Windows did that broke a bunch of things. That was common. I've had a couple of churches had that same issue. Eduardo, do you recommend using NDI for the sanctuary and ditching ATEM Mini, which is HDMI? And no, I personally don't. Not in the sanctuary. That's just me. I like my stuff to be hardwired there. I do have one connection at the church now that is wireless, but that's only for if somebody was trying to present something like they're running their computer down on the floor, but they want to send slides and put it on the TV. That's the only thing I have wireless. Everything else, I mean, not that I'm a super fanboy for Blackmagic. I've had a whole bunch of churches that moved from New Tech to Blackmagic because they weren't happy with it. So I personally have not used it. So I just don't, me personally, I just don't want to depend everything on NDI. That's just me. But back to that, it's not necessarily about the cameras, it's about your network that can support it. That's the main thing. Like if somebody else was saying, if you got a whole bunch of people that are tanking your traffic in your network and it's not robust enough, you might experience some issues. You don't have that when it's a direct cable. Rhonda, Firefly fiber broadband with Central Virginia electric router, Calyx Gigasphere, no guest net with limit added, TPAC routers. Sometimes get kicked off primary onto slower guest network. Why? I'm not 100% sure. But why would you get kicked to the guest? I mean, if you're getting kicked to the other one, honestly, I would say if both of them, if this is wireless, because that's the only thing I would think you would be kicked over to that, is just remove the wireless connection there so it's not a failover. That's the only thing I can think. Like everything I have here, I have the Wi-Fi that me and my daughter use. But I also have a Wi-Fi and a different VLAN network for all of my smart devices. And I've limited them because they just need to be up enough for them to communicate. Not a lot of data and stuff like that. My phone used to get kicked over to that because I used my phone to set them up. And I'll be like, why is my phone so slow? I just removed the network completely from my phone, told it to forget it so it doesn't fail over. That's just me. So, but I don't know if that's the exact type of setup that you're talking about. Creator for Fun. You mentioned NDI. How would you set that up to play downstairs? Kind of like what I'm doing right now. Right now on my desktop, and this is going to get crazy here for half a second. Way I have it right now, all this is going to my ATEM Mini Extreme. The ATEM Mini Extreme is going to vMix, and that's what y'all are seeing. But in vMix, I have the output going to an NDI monitor. So that is what I'm seeing on the screen right here. This is what you're seeing, but this is how I'm seeing it right in front of me. So what you would do And I actually did this at my church. I have a video for it, and this is why I know personally why I needed to upgrade my computer at church. I had just an old laptop that just ran the NDI monitor, and I had it hardwired to our network, and I just had that connected to the TV. And I set my computer up to start NDI monitor full screen once it started, and it automatically connected to the source of our streaming system from the sanctuary. That's how. And it just showed it full screen. It sent audio and video that way. It was good. It was a little bit delayed, but again, it was on the other side of the building. Excuse me. So that was fine. Mel C. With the new update to OBS, it's been crashing. I've reset it to an earlier version. Have you noticed anything? No, I have not. I updated ours at church. I personally have updated it, but I haven't streamed in OBS directly from this. My church hasn't had any issues, but I will look into it and see. Eduardo wants to know that the Unify you talk about is ubiquitous. It's actually Ubiquity is the company, but I don't think that's what you were talking about from there. Ubiquity makes a Unify line. But yes, I mean, it's I like them because I start with one piece, and you can keep adding more pieces, and intelligently we'll hook everything all over the place. So hopefully that answers your question. Best live streaming services on a budget. We already use social media and the tools that I may need. I have a 4K camcorder, mic, OBS. Is there anything else you need? I mean, you need a capture device. How is your camcorder going to be connected to OBS? That's the first thing you need to know. And I mean, honestly, the best budget is, I mean, go to Facebook, YouTube, any of the platforms that are free. The main thing is you just need to have your camera go to some type of capture device and going into OBS if that's what you're using. And then as long as the computer is fast enough to process that camera, the video and the audio, convert it to the ones and the zeros and send it to your platform of choice, that's really all you need. Eduardo, what do you use to create VLANs at home? The Unify network. That's what I use. It's all built into the Unify stuff. Back to Rhonda, it is wireless. Yeah, I would try and do that. Just remove that other network so that way it doesn't fail over. Because I think intelligently it's probably set to connect automatically, and if it loses it, it just jumps over to the other one. Just remove it completely and it won't fail over. Ty, can you recommend training videos for the Blackmagic ATEM software? I have the ATEM Mini Extreme ISO. I mean, besides shameless plug me, what other detailed stuff are you talking about? For the most part, I've gone over some stuff, and I kind of can make videos for whatever. It all depends. I haven't had anybody ask me if there's anything outside of what I've done that you need videos on. There are a bunch of other people. Aaron Karpacki, I think, pronounce his name. He does a lot of them as well too. Excuse me. Chris, did you see Aaron's video on using the Extreme's second out and USB-C to trick Zoom to get a full HD video? No, I have not. I am still playing catch up on some stuff, but I'll check that out. And hey, folks, I am very, very sorry for making this one short. If y'all were looking at my install video before, I'm having some shenanigans going on right now, so looks like I gotta go into business mode here for a second and take care of some stuff. I will be back. Thank you so much, folks, for watching. Again, my apologies for this being shorter than I normally would want it to be, but I don't want to say duty calls, but yeah. Thank you so much, folks, for everything that y'all do. there's a lot of stuff that we do that people don't know what we do, and they think it's easy. And it is once you put the work in that y'all are doing. So thank y'all so much for what you're doing, no matter where you're at, no matter what country, city, state that you are located in. You are helping the body, not just an individual ministry. You're helping the body. We all work together, and that makes this work instead of us just doing our own thing by ourselves. So thank you so much. I want to give a big shout out to my Patreon supporters. We got some new ones here. Actually, I'm sorry, I had it backwards. We had new YouTube members, but either way, thank you so much, patrons. You too can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, or you can become a YouTube member by clicking the join button down below. No matter which way you pick, folks, you are helping us train media ministries all over the world. Thank you so much for watching. A bunch of y'all don't worry, breathe, and air hugs. Hey, I appreciate it, folks. Thank you so much. I try not to put people on blast, but sometimes you just got to call a spade, and stuff like that. Hey, I'm not a brain surgeon. So who am I to tell a brain surgeon they're not doing it the way I think it should be done? I'll just leave it. I'll leave that one there for you. But anyway, y'all have a good day, folks. And just know, I think we're supposed to have a round table today since we didn't have this Sunday. Yeah, we're gonna have a round table Sunday. Yeah, we definitely gonna have one. So anyway, that information is on the Facebook page. Go ahead and join that. Look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy on Facebook. Join the 2,500 media ministers all over the world, helping make everyone share the message like never before. Thanks so much for watching, folks. This is AJ. We will catch y'all in the next video. Later.